Welcome to all of you, and please be seated. To our alumni, family, friends, faculty, staff, guests, and especially our graduates of today, welcome to our 2018 December graduation ceremony. First, to our graduates, congratulations. Today, we started out early with our major celebration, and today, this afternoon, is a celebration of our family and our community in NC State's College of Education. Completing a bachelor's degree, or master's degree, or doctoral degree is a remarkable feat. And we know that many of you have completed your degree working full-time or part-time, along with carrying out major family and personal commitments. So earning a degree not only is a remarkable feat, but it is an extraordinary accomplishment when we combine that with an already busy and full life. And so to all of you, I ask you to feel really proud. Our faculty, staff, and students and I are extremely proud of you. And hold on to the memories of the accomplishment today, and congratulations on a job extremely well done. We also know we never do anything alone, and we wouldn't be here with the support of others. So I would like to recognize a number of groups that are here with us this afternoon. First of all, I want to start out with the college's leadership team. Some of them are listed in the program, and they will be introduced to you as we begin awarding degrees. Others I would like to introduce to you now who are on the platform party with me. They are Dr. Anona Smith-Williams, the College of Education's Associate Dean for Student Success and Strategic Community Engagement. Also, Dr. Paula Stein, the college's Associate Dean for Research and Innovation. And sitting with the faculty is Dr. Michael Marr, our Assistant Dean for Professional Education and Accreditation. Dr. Smith, Williams, Stein, and Mayer, along with the rest of our leadership team, lead a remarkable group of faculty and staff, among the best in the country, if not the very best in the country. And, all right. And graduates, you've received the best from the best of our faculty and staff in the college. And we know that our faculty and staff have challenged and supported you. They've served as your teachers, your mentors, and they've done all that they can to prepare you for the opportunities and challenges you will face. I would like to ask our outstanding faculty and staff of the college to please stand and be recognized. I would also like to acknowledge the family members, loved ones, and friends who've supported our graduates. No one makes it here alone, and for this reason, I would like to ask the graduates to stand, turn to the audience, and to those you think you know where they're sitting, and offer them a huge round of applause to those who've supported you through thick and thin on times when there might have been self-doubt, times when there was shortage in finances, and in times there just seemed to be a shortage of everything. So please turn and stand, and let's thank our supporters. All right. So to our class of 2018, we're here to recognize you and to celebrate your commitment to the profession of education. You've certainly chosen to work in a field that is not easy, but I believe that there is no profession or field that gives you more of an opportunity or places higher expectations to positively impact so many lives. Collectively, you will conduct research, influence policies, lead community colleges and schools, counsel children and adults, and teach students. No matter which path you have chosen, I urge you to be a champion for the educational success of all students, particularly those of color or living in poverty. I urge you to use your passion, your commitment, and your care, along with the knowledge and skills you have gained at NC State. Those are crucial for you to be a fierce advocate to improve the life of every student, every client, every colleague, or every community member you interact with. I encourage you, I implore you to do all that you can to create safe environments, especially in these times of divisiveness and violence. Always remember, for so many people, we are their last best hope for a better tomorrow. So embrace your calling as an extremely well-prepared professional and be confident knowing that you are poised to build a better world for our children and families. Never forget that and live it every day. It's now my honor to introduce one of the members of the class of 2018 who will deliver the charge to the graduate students, Dr. Yolanda Wilson. Yolanda has completed her Doctor of Education in Adult and Community College Education. She is a great reflection of how our students and alumni strive tirelessly to better the world through the field of education. Like many of you, she earned her advanced degree while working full-time and raising a family. She has worked for the community college systems in North Carolina and South Carolina for over 20 years. She began her career as a faculty member teaching English, and today she is the Associate Vice President at York Technical College in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Wilson to the stage.
Remember, there is a trail behind you. These words were spoken by my paternal uncle, affectionately called Uncle Deke, with emotion in his throat and expectation in his voice, just days after I passed my dissertation defense. His pride was evident, but his words were clearly a charge and a call to action. You've looked back, Nisi, he said, and you've looked forward. Now let's make progress. Remember, there is a trail behind you. As I hung up the phone, I considered his words. My Uncle Deke was right. During my educational journey, I had looked back to a father educated in a segregated one-room schoolhouse in Mobile, Alabama, and to a mother from Wakulla, Florida, who believed a college education was the only key to a great future, even though she had never completed her own. I had looked back to the stops and starts of my own life as a working wife and mother who had attempted this journey 3 times, and I knew in my gut that it was now or never. But I had not only looked back, I had also looked forward to my 3 African-American sons who deserved a future as bright as the hope shining in their eyes. I had looked forward to being the first in my family on both sides to earn a doctoral degree and raising the bar on what's possible. And I had looked forward to using my education to make an impact being the change agent in my small corner of the world, recognizing that this gift of scholarship and inquiry, relationships and mentorships, research and discourse were not for me to hoard, but to share. And like my Uncle Deke reminded me, looking back and looking forward were not enough. It was time to make progress. And now, my fellow graduates and colleagues, I say the same to all of you. Because making progress must be intentional. It simply doesn't happen by happenstance. One of my most poignant memories from my doctoral program reminded me of this fact. My classmates and I thought we had made progress after we completed our coursework. We were 2 years in, many courses later. We thought, yes, progress. Some of us even gave a celebratory shout at the end of that final class session because in our minds, we had arrived and it was time to enjoy the moment. But one of our professors, with the wisdom of hindsight, sobered us with just a few insightful words. Oh, my dear students, the real work has only just begun. And he was right. He saw what we could not see. The coursework was a test of our skill, a nod to our intellectual ability, if you will. But the dissertation, that dissertation, that was a test of our will. Dare I suggest the same to all of you? As you begin your post-graduation journey as teachers and researchers, policymakers, administrators, and community advocates, will you see the work through to the end, even when it gets hard? Will you persevere through the challenges to identify solutions, even when resources are limited? And will you recognize that work of this magnitude cannot be done alone, but requires strategic partnerships and collaboration? To my graduating classmates, please do take a brief moment to celebrate, because we have reached a wonderful milestone. And I celebrate with each and every one of you. But be reminded that the real work has only just begun. The real work of creating more equitable outcomes for all students. The real work of ensuring that adequate resources are granted to all communities. And the real work of driving policy to advance social capital and economic mobility. Yes, the real work has only just begun. And it will take what psychologist Angela Duckworth calls grit, a special cocktail of passion and perseverance to make sustainable progress that leads to measurable impact. But making progress is a must, my fellow graduates, because there is a trail behind us. Let me first acknowledge the trail of our family and friends, many of whom are in the audience, and say thank you. You invested in us, you believed in us, and you cheered us on. And because you invested in us, we must now pay it forward and invest in others. I must also recognize the trail of red and white, our Wolfpack family of administrators, staff, and faculty who taught us and mentored us, encouraged us, challenged us, and prepared us to not only think, but also to do. And of course, there's a trail of community partners and employers who see us no longer as NC State students, but as NC State graduates, and are excited about what we will offer to them and the communities in which we serve. Thank you, my dear Uncle Deke, for reminding us of what truly matters most. Yes, the degree is wonderful, but the legacy, what we leave behind, and the lives we touch through our efforts must be transformational. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2018.
Thank you. Thank you, Yolanda. Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Lee Stiff, Associate Dean for Faculty and Academic Affairs of the College of Education. Now we come to the portion of our program when we acknowledge individual graduates. But before we do, let me make 3 announcements. First, there is no reason to hold your applause until all in a group have crossed the stage. In fact, we encourage you to applaud when your graduate approaches the stage. Today, we are acknowledging a great accomplishment, so feel free to show your graduate how proud we all are. Second, to ensure that you capture this special moment, we have hired a professional photographer to take pictures of all of our graduates. We know how much this day means to our graduates and to their families and friends. So please, don't worry if you can't get that great picture from where you are sitting. And lastly, please note that those students graduating with distinction are highlighted in the program. Each year, our presentation of new doctorates is truly special. Shortly, I will invite the doctoral candidates and departmental faculty to join Dean Danowitz in the hooding ceremony. In the hooding ceremony, we will recognize those graduates who receive a doctorate degree. The doctorate is the highest degree that North Carolina State University offers and is awarded in recognition of the rigorous, independent academic research that each student has conducted and produced in the form of a dissertation. So, at this time, I'd like to ask Dean Mary Ann Danowitz and Department Head Penny Pasquay to please join me on stage for recognition of the graduates from the Department of Educational Leadership, Policy, and Human Development. And will the department faculty please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Faculty, please be seated. We begin the hooding of the graduates receiving a Doctor of Education in Educational Administration and Supervision Education. Kendrick Ray Alston. Dissertation title, Examining the Impact of Race in the Recruitment, Placement, and Retention of African American Male Principals in Rural North Carolina School Districts, a qualitative study of the perceptions of African American male principals serving in rural, high-poverty, high-minority elementary schools, under the direction of Professors Lisa Bass and Michael Ward. Tarana Siobhan Banks Battle. Dissertation title, The Relationship Between the North Carolina Standards for School Executives and School Outcomes, a multi-site case study of principal behaviors in low-performing schools with accelerated achievement growth, under the direction of Professors Lance Fozzarelli and Michael Ward. Hooding by Professor Michael Ward. Lisa Simmons Swinson. Dissertation title, Exploring Charter School Administrators' Perceptions of the Support of Their Authorizer, a Mixed Method Study, under the direction of Professors Lance Fossarelli and Timothy Drake. Hooding by Professor Timothy Drake. Tara Mishane Amon. Dissertation title, The Geographic Achievement Gap, a quantitative investigation into academic success in rural and non-rural public high schools in North Carolina, under the direction of Professors Lance Fossarelli and Timothy Drake, hooding by Professor Timothy Drake. Mary Hull Jones. Dissertation title, How the Tiered Fidelity Inventory Instrument Impacted Positive Behavior Interventions and Supports Team Implementation in 2 Rural Middle Schools, a Comparative Case Study, under the direction of Professor Timothy Drake. Jonathan Scott Dixon. Dissertation title, North Carolina School Superintendent's Perceptions of Preparedness for Superintendency, under the direction of Professors Lance Fossarelli and Bonnie Fossarelli, hooding by Professor Greg Hicks. Leah Manette Davis. Dissertation title, Urban Elementary School Principals' Views of Principal Professional Development, a Q methodological study, under the direction of Professor James Bartlett. Adult and Community College Education. Brett Russell Dixon. Dissertation title, Perceptions of Study Abroad in China. Why do students want to participate? Under the direction of Professor James Bartlett. Shannon Haney Landrum. Dissertation title, Difficulties Encountered by Enlisted Army and Marine Corps Veterans when Entering Community College After Separation from the Military, a Q methodological study, under the direction of Professor James Bartlett. Charlotte Russell Cox. Dissertation title, Massive Open Online Course Completion Journeys, a descriptive case study of self-efficacy and self-determination of adult learners, under the direction of Professor Diane Chapman. Teresa McDonald. Dissertation title, Voices of Warrior Women, a narrative analysis of female post-deployment veteran perceptions of the transition to 2 Southeastern community colleges, under the direction of Professor Diane Chapman. Michelle Denise Wilson. A holistic dissertation title, a holistic case study of first-generation community college student experience in a performance-based scholarship program, implementation and utilization of social capital, under the direction of Professor Terry Bowles. Yolanda Wilson. Dissertation title, The Impact of Math Study Skills Co-requisite Courses on Student Success in Pre-Calculus at an Urban Community College, under the direction of Professor Michelle Bartlett. Now, for the awarding of the Doctor of Philosophy degrees. The Doctor of Philosophy is awarded in recognition of the rigorous, independent academic research that each student has conducted and produced in the form of a dissertation. So we begin now with educational research and policy analysis. John Jamal Evans. Dissertation title, Mismatched, a case study to understand why North Carolina students choose to enroll in community colleges after being admitted into four-year institutions, under the direction of Professor Chad Hogan. K. Laura Adams Yadusky. Dissertation title, Succeeding Against the Odds, exploring the experiences of academically underprepared college students who successfully transition from pre-curriculum studies to full enrollment in curriculum courses, under the direction of Professors Chad Hogan and Susan Barcinas. Frederica Singer. Dissertation title, Humanizing the Educational Experience, the role of faculty mentoring relationships in the college experience of first-generation low-income students, under the direction of Professor Susan Barcinas. Jonah Daniel Winkler. Dissertation title, Development of an Instrument to Measure the Relationship between Community College Developmental Math Instructors' Perceptions of Student Success and Instructional Practice, under the direction of Professor Susan Barcinas. Christina B. Irvin. Dissertation title, Mapping, Measuring, and Modeling Cultural Intelligence as the Capacity for Success in the Global Knowledge Economy, a series of meta-analysis, under the direction of Professor Jane Fleener. Thomas Boyd Ray. Dissertation title, Exploring Happiness of Participants in Middle Class Express, a Q methodological study, under the direction of Professor James Bartlett. Eric Michael Griebing. Dissertation title, An Investigation of the Impact of North Carolina School Performance Grades on Teacher Perceptions and Turnover, under the direction of Professor Stephen Porter. Randolph Adrian Autumn. Dissertation title, Estimating the Impact of Traditional Bullying Victimization in High School on Academic Achievement, under the direction of Professor Stephen Porter. Counseling and Counselor Education, Alexandria Nicole Betwith. Dissertation title, Parental Wellness, a case study exploring how individual experiences parenthood and develop well-being practices in their socio-political context, under the direction of Professors Mark Grimmett and Schumann Raymond Ting. Hooding by Professor Mark Grimmett. Rachel Casada Lohman. Dissertation title, the effects of a customized school-based anger regulation and aggression reduction intervention under the direction of Professor Stanley B. Baker. Gwendolyn L. Roberts. Dissertation title, Experiences and Thoughts of Therapists Treating Male Survivors of Sexual Assault and Rape, under the direction of Professor Sylvia Nasser. Allison Marie Sappi. Dissertation title, Objectification of Women in the Greek System, Intersectionality and Cross-Counsel Comparisons, under the direction of Professor Edwin Gerler. Thank you, Dr. Pasquet. With the department head, Aaron Clark, please step forward for the recognition of doctoral degrees from the Department of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Education. With the faculty from STEM Ed, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. We begin with the hooding of the Doctor of Education degree. Technology Education, Shawanda Jones Williams. Dissertation title, An Intrinsic Case Study Exploring Non-Persistence of African American Students in Undergraduate Engineering at a Predominantly White Institution, under the direction of Professors Aaron Clark and Cameron Denson. Now, for the awarding of the Doctor of Philosophy degrees in Mathematics Education. Angelina Yosko Kanis. Dissertation title, Perceptions and the Role of Personal Experiences on Females' Participation and Persistence in Mathematics, under the direction of Professor Karen Hollebrand. Andres George Paul. Dissertation title, Student Learning Experiences in a Community College Pre-Calculus Algebra Course, a mixed method study of the influence of structure sense instruction on student structure sense and algebraic proficiency, under the direction of the esteemed Professor Levi Stiff. Matal Shah. Dissertation title, Applying a Validity of Argument Framework to Learning Trajectories on Middle Grades Geometric Similarity Using Learning Science and Psychometric Lenses, under the direction of Professor Jerk Humphrey. Thank you, Dr. Clark. Would Department Head John Lee please step forward for the recognition of doctoral degrees from the Department of Teacher Education and Learning Sciences. Would the faculty from TAILS please stand and be recognized? We begin with the hooding of the graduates receiving a Doctor of Philosophy degree in Curriculum and Instruction. Vandana Gil Bindra. Dissertation title, Moral Identity and Engagement with Racial Issues Among Social Justice-Oriented Emerging Adults on Social Media. phenomenal case study under the direction of Professor Jessica DeQueer Gunby. Oriana Tanique Johnson. Dissertation title, The Role of Racial Identity, Social Socialization, and School Connectedness on the Academic Experiences of Gifted Black Female Adolescents Attending Predominantly White Schools, under the direction of Professor Jessica DeQueer Gunby. Jessica Margaret Lancaster. Dissertation title, Teaching Comprehension Monitoring Within a Metacognitive Framework, an analysis of the effects on fourth graders' reading achievement and calibration, under the direction of Professors Jessica DeQueer Gunby and De Leon Gray. Susan Baker Bowles. Dissertation title, Examining the Relationship Between Student Perceptions of Online Instructors' Teaching and Social Presence and Introductory Video Characteristics, under the direction of Professor Denise Israel. Nancy Ann Smith. Dissertation title, Facilitation of Physical Therapist Student Hypothetical Deductive Clinical Reasoning Using a Scaffold Model Application, under the direction of Professor Kevin Oliver. Thank you, Dr. Lee. Now for the recognition of the master's degrees in the Department of Educational Leadership, Policy, and Human Development. Would Department Head Penny Pasquay please step forward? We begin with the Master of Education degrees in Adult and Community College Education. Susan Shabay Bockenberger. Shi Duan. Clinical Health, Clinical Mental Health Counseling, Emily Scott Cruson. College Counseling and Student Development, Tricia J. Jackson. Jennifer Ann Ovana. Colleen S. Vasu. Colleen is the daughter of Dr. Ellen Story Vasu, Professor Emerita in the College of Education, and Dr. Michael L. Vasu, Franz Elderman Laureate Professor, Public Administration. Higher Education Administration. Sharon Elizabeth Beers. Rebecca Ruth Dunstan. School Counseling. Fahana Yasmin Khan. Training and Development. Hillary Christine Davis. Alexandra Ava Cosmos Hergeth Huggins. Sarah Hannah Harris. Elizabeth Etheridge Mall. Simon Schwint. Catherine Singletary. Dylan Gray Stoneham. Master of Science in Adult and Community College Education, Katrina Harris Larison. At this time, I would like to ask Professor Terry Bowles and Ms. Olivia White to join Dean Danowitz and Dr. Pasquay for a special recognition. Taylor Virginia Marie White, a graduate student in the Department of Educational Leadership, Policy, and Human Development, was nearing the completion of her Master of Education degree under the guidance of her advisor, Professor Bowles. Unfortunately, cancer intervened in Taylor's life, and despite 11 months of aggressive treatments, Taylor passed away in July of this year. Today, we would like to recognize Taylor and her achievements. So please allow me now to read words of reflection from the family. It is hard to express how honored and humbled we are with this recognition of Taylor by the North Carolina State University College of Education. Early in her college days, Taylor discovered that she had a talent and gift for sharing her love of learning. As an undergraduate at William Peace University, she tutored others in multiple subjects. Taylor found special joy in helping those students who were returning to school and struggling. She realized it was her life's calling. After graduating, Taylor continued to work in the Peace University's tutoring program as a tutor, the assistant director of the tutoring program, and as an adjunct professor in composition. Always seeking greater knowledge, skills, and abilities for her life's calling, Taylor researched the best place for her postgraduate education and learned that North Carolina State University was that place. Not only could she be a student, but she could continue to serve others with her work at William Peace and maintain her job as crew member at Trader Joe's, where she worked for over 9 years. The wisdom of this decision was only confirmed when Dr. Terry Bowles became Taylor's advisor. Taylor had met Dr. Bowles while working at Trader Joe's, well before earning her undergraduate degree. Even while undergoing chemotherapy and treatments, Taylor continued working, tutoring, and going to class, working towards her master's degree in adult and community college education. Despite a terminal diagnosis, she was determined to finish and was registering for this past fall semester in April, which means that she had high hopes of finishing. We know if she were still here, she would have finished and made it through and would be sitting here with all of you today. The joy she felt reading her students' essays and providing them feedback radiated from her. That joy infected not only her students, but the staff at the hospital too. Her friends and family fondly remember visiting Taylor in the hospital while she was sitting up in bed, balancing her laptop, grading students' essays, providing feedback, and discussing the importance of proper encouragement along with a grade to each student. She wanted to encourage and touch each student individually to reach their full potential. After her death, we learned through multiple notes and letters that not only was Taylor helping her students, but that she was providing guidance and tutoring to friends and co-workers at Trader Joe's in their education and life pursuits. Taylor was a gifted educator and mentor. It was a part of every part of her life. Taylor fought the good fight, finished the race, and kept the faith. Let this be her legacy to her fellow students. Give of yourself, invest in your relationships with family, friends, and your community. So as we noted earlier, this honor and recognition of Taylor is humbling, but we feel it is well-deserved. Thank you. So now, it is our honor to present posthumously Taylor Virginia Marie White's Master of Education degree in Adult and Community College Education to her sister, Miss Olivia White. Thank you, Ms. White, Professor Bowles, and Dr. Pasquay. Now, for the recognition of Master of Education degrees in the Department of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Education. With Department Head Aaron Clark, please step forward. We'll begin with Mathematics Education. Molly Mae Matlock. Science Education, Robert Carl Fleming III. Nicholas Lee Henley. Gary William Wright III. Master of Arts in Teaching, Science Education, Lauren P. Rush. Thank you, Dr. Clark. Now for the recognition of the Master of Education degrees in Teacher Education and Learning Sciences. With Department Head John Lee, please step forward. We begin with Curriculum and Instruction, Curriculum and Developmental Supervision. Allison Bradshaw Avery. Stephanie Marie Bender. Kirsten Mariska Huflucken. Kelly Morrissey McGee. Digital Learning and Teaching, Misha Mazzella Jackson. Elementary Education, Hannah Davison Cope. Allison Ruth Deaton. Bridget Woods Fagala. Hillary T. Overcash. Learning Design and Technology, Jonathan Stephen Mayfield. Special Education, Mary Carson Shirelli. Rebecca Ann Slack. Master of Arts in Teaching, Elementary Education, Rachel Reeves Biggs. Jensen Regina Brindle. Michael Ryan Butler. Patricia Mattis Collier. Addison Parker Davis. Rachel Lauren Freeman. Ashley D. Green. Camila Tiara Johnson. Daquan Marcel Love. Tara Mortimer. Chantel Amanda Nelson. Linda Catherine Newell. Labria Rochelle Wilson. Catherine Elizabeth Zajac. English as a second language, Jenna Ray Matucci. Middle grades English language arts, Samira Bint Rasmi Eljurf. Special education, Jennifer Beth Brackett. Madison Lee Miller. Thank you, Dr. Lee and Dean Danowitz. This concludes the recognition of our graduate degrees. We are very proud of your academic accomplishments, so please join me in congratulating all of our new graduates just one more time. Now, I would like to introduce Armando Salazar Cardozo, an undergraduate student in STEM Ed's Science Education Program, who will deliver the charge to the undergraduate students. During his time at NC State, Armando served as president of the GLBT Community Alliance and worked as an orientation leader, summer start mentor, and Zumba, cardio, dance, and cycling instructor with University Recreation. He was also a mentor through the Students Advocating for Youth, known as SAY, Living and Learning Village. He plans to teach middle school science. Please join me in welcoming Armando to the podium.
Good afternoon, and congratulations to the class of 2018 and to our friends and family. We made it. We survived school, and now we can follow our dreams of going back to school, but this time even earlier. To me, this day is both exciting and frightening. Exciting because we will finally be the leaders of our own classrooms, and frightening because we will be the ones leading our own classrooms. From now on, when an adult is needed, we're the adult students are looking for. At night, you might be searching the internet for that hot new meme or watching a never-ending loop of the road work ahead. Yeah, I sure hope it does, Vine. But during the day, we're the ones that need to stay calm and find a solution to whatever our students can and will throw at us. I know, that's a terrifying thought. But I have faith in us. The great educators that we look up to and respect so much were once in the same position, and they made it through. I know times have changed from when they started teaching, but the passion that we have for this amazing profession remains the same. The great thing about education is that there's not one right way to teach. We can make it our own, our students, or whatever we need to make it so that it can make it through our circumstances. The thing that I love about our class is that we are going to fight for our students' needs and our needs. We are not going to sit by and let others determine what education is or how it should be done. We're the ones that are going to determine that. We're not only going to be the voice for our students, but teach our students how to be their own voices. As I look out at all of you, I see a group of leaders that will create new leaders. The night before my full-time student teaching semester, I sat on the edge of my bed crying. For most of winter break, I avoided the thought of student teaching and all the fears that came along with it. But there was no hiding from it now. I thought, what if I'm not a good enough teacher? What if I find out that teaching is not for me? What if my students hate me? What if I mess up? So many what ifs, going back to the simple question of, what if I fail? As a teacher, I want to teach my students that it is okay to be afraid to fail, but that fear should not stop them from pursuing their passions. I want to teach them how to take that fear and use it to their advantage. And I hope all my fellow colleagues, all of you, will do so as well. Now, looking back at my time as a student teacher, there are many things I wish I had known prior to that semester, and many things I wish I had known prior to making the mistakes that I made. But overall, I look back and I believe I succeeded. I may not have been the perfect student teacher, but I learned so much from my mistakes. Out of everything I learned, the most important thing was something my cooperating teacher told me on the first day. She said, "You need to remember, you're the top 10%. Most of these students are not." I thought I understood that concept before the semester, but not in the way that I know now. I come from a place of great privilege. Even though my mom was an immigrant and neither of my parents graduated high school, I was still in a position where I made it to college. I had the opportunity to follow my passion. I know each and every one of you has their own experiences and backgrounds, but we need to remember that our students do too. So next time a student acts out, let's be patient and remember that their lives may be falling apart. When a student doesn't do their homework for the 4th time that week, let's remember that there might be more important things on their minds, like supporting their families. Whenever a student doesn't do something that we believe to be so simple, let's remember that their life circumstances is making that simple thing impossible. As of right now, my plan is to teach middle school science for a few years before going back to school to study childhood counseling. But seeing as how my high school plan to create the first army of tap dancing squirrels did not go anywhere, I cannot be sure that that is where I will be. But I can be certain that I will spend the rest of my life working hard to advocate for the education of youth. And I hope that regardless of where life may take you, you will as well. As Sarah Kay told her future daughter in her poem, "Point B, if I should have a daughter," I want to tell my students, this world is made out of sugar. It can crumble so easily, but don't be afraid to stick out your tongue and taste it. Remember that good things come in threes and also bad things. Always apologize when you've done something wrong, but don't you ever apologize for the way your eyes refuse to stop shining. Your voice may be small, but never stop singing. Now when I sit on the edge of my bed the night before I start my first year of teaching, I will not be crying in fear, but instead will be excited because I know I get to determine what education looks like. I urge all of us to remember that even though we are one person out of many, the impact we have on the world is great. We need to take a stand when a stand needs to be taken, because our students would not only be listening to us, they will be watching, and our actions would teach them just as much, if not more, than our words will. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2018.
Thank you, Armando. I would like to invite Dean Danowitz and Department Head Aaron Clark to join me for the recognition of the Bachelor of Science degrees from the Department of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Education. We will begin with Education, General Studies. Ashley Marie Haga. Wesley Thomas Harvard. Katie Nicole Miller. Mathematics Education, Emily Elizabeth Atkins. Naup Vu Barwell. Bethany Kristen Helms. Megan Darrell Lambeth. Ashley Michelle Lawson. Caitlin Elizabeth Winter. Science Education, Elizabeth Correll Coleman. Mando Salazar Cardozo. Technology, Engineering, and Design Education, Justin Scott Blackman. Richard Dorman Grote III. Matthew George Locklear. Preston Dean McMillan. Taylor Ryan Ussero. This concludes the recognition of our degrees. We again are very proud of all of our graduates and their academic accomplishments. Will you please join me in recognizing all of our graduates just one more time? This concludes the recognition of our degrees, as I said. At this time, I'm pleased to recognize several groups and individuals, graduates who participated in undergraduate enrichment and honors programs at the college and university levels. Students advocating for youth programs known as, say, Villagers. Alexis Christina Craddock, Science Education. Mando Salazar Cardozo, Science Education. And Megan Darrell Lambeth, Mathematics Education. Would they please stand and be recognized? Thank you. University Honors Program. Emily Elizabeth Atkins, Mathematics Education. Ashley Lawson, Mathematics Education. Please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Passport to Success Program. Bethany Helms, Mathematics Education. Ashley Lawson, Mathematics Education. Yes, stand. And finally, the College Valedictorian and Truman Scholar, Ashley Lawson. Ashley, please stand and be recognized. And Ashley, would you please join me at the podium? Now, while she's coming forward, I want to say we all know what it means to be valedictorian. Well, I don't, but please allow me to tell you a little more about Truman Scholars. The Truman Foundation was created by the United States Congress in 1975 as the living memorial to President Harry S. Truman and the Presidential Memorial to Public Service. The Foundation's mission is premised on the belief that a better future relies on attracting public service, the commitment and sound judgment of bright and outstanding Americans. In fact, it was his belief that led President Truman, when approached by a bipartisan group of admirers near the end of his life, to encourage Congress to create a living memorial devoted to this purpose rather than a bricks and mortar monument. This year, the foundation considered 756 nominations from 312 institutions and selected only 59 outstanding college students from 52 institutions as Truman Scholars. Students were nominated by the institutions based on their records of leadership, public service, and academic achievement. Ashley Lawson is our Truman Scholar. Ashley, a double major in secondary mathematics education and mathematics, grew up in rural North Carolina. She is passionate about improving our public education system to provide support for all students and reducing the inequities between rural, urban, and suburban schools and communities. Ashley has researched the implementation of high school standards, conducted legislative research at the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction, and volunteered at schools throughout North Carolina. She is the founder and director of Meet My Future, a grassroots organization dedicated to improving the career development, educational attainment, and opportunity for rural students and communities. Ashley plans to dedicate her career to teaching and improving the quality of education for all rural students. So now, a few words from Ashley.
I want to start by saying wow, and also by saying how grateful I am to be part of the NC State College of Education. I never imagined that I would do the things that I've done while I was at NC State. I never imagined that I would create an educational organization, that I would be qualified to receive the Truman Scholarship, or that I could even leave here saying that I have the power to change lives. And I couldn't have done that without all of my support here. I have an incredible family support system, I had incredible professors, and I have incredible friends over here too. My professors at NC State turned out to be more like mentors and family. They helped me find my passions and research the things that I was thrilled about. And they encouraged me to do things along the way. They let me cry in their offices too. I'm also incredibly thankful to be a part of this wonderful cohort who are actually my friends and my colleagues. They've helped inspire me to be a better teacher by their love for their students and by always helping me improve my teaching as well. I also want, Dr. Regina Gavins-Williams actually told me to leave you with my hopes, but I'm actually going to leave you with a few thoughts. On my cap, I paraphrased Nelson Mandela, and it says, education is the most powerful way to change the world. And I think that's incredibly true, but I also want to note that he did not say that education is the most powerful way to change the world positively. As an educator, we have incredible power and responsibility. We can belittle our students, or we can empower them. We have the power to make them feel incapable, or we have the power to help them see their abilities when they can't see it in themselves, just like my mentors did. So I know that the people in this room will absolutely ensure that education is a powerful, positive force because I've seen you all do it. I've watched as all of you have empowered your students. One of the math education students actually just got a note from a parent about how thankful she was to have her. And I know that you will continue to change lives, and I'm just so thankful to be a part of this group. And my hope for you is that you continue to change lives, and I know that you'll do it. Thank you again.
What an amazing group of graduates. And I can say on my behalf as Dean, this is kind of the highlight of what the faculty and I look forward to every year. It's our hopes and aspirations and knowing the incredible things you're going to do. So once again, I want to congratulate our class of 2018 and know that we could not be more proud of you and more confident in what you can do. We know how well prepared you are, and we know that you'll have challenges and you'll have opportunities, and we believe that you will do what you need to go beyond them and to make the most of them. So please know that the college is your home. It will always be your home. And each of you have been given a pin for our college, from our College of Education. We want you to remember that what that pin means, because it's the ties to your college, to our college. And wear that pin with integrity, pride, and confidence, knowing that you are prepared for whatever is ahead. So I wish all of you very happy, safe holidays for whatever way you might celebrate those, in whatever traditions they would be they faith, be they family, be doing something like right now, just taking a break after what you've accomplished this semester. So we wish you the very best, we congratulate you, and we send you on your way. So a few instructions before we leave, and that is graduates and guests, please remain seated until we on the platform have exited, and we ask that the graduates then follow behind the marshals to exit. After the recessional, you're invited to join us in rooms 7 and 8, and graduates, you may also meet your guests in the lobby. And finally, to our newest graduates, drawing on the words of Yolanda and Mando, you have reached a wonderful milestone, but may you seek the work that you have started to the end. And remember, there is a trail behind you. Remember that your voice is small, but don't stop singing. And remember to champion every day the educational success for all. So congratulations, best wishes, and may you always be the leader of the pack. Go Pack!